Hey everyone, it's Scott again with mobile in 5 to 10 minutes. Today we're going to look at UITableView and custom cells that you can place inside of UITableView. Custom cells are extremely easy to implement and help when the default cell layout that are usually provided isn't just enough for your application. For instance, if you needed to have a larger display for, say, uh, an image, or you want to display something over to the right, in this instance we have a rating for whatever we're displaying in our view. Before we jump in, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel below so that we can bring you more content. And if you have any questions, please post. I would be happy to address any questions. Go ahead and get started with our Objective-C custom table view cells. I've already created an application, single view. I've placed a table view on there, and I've also set the view controller as our data source. So as we go into the view controller here, you'll see that we've implemented the UITableView data source protocol. There are a few things also that I've done here. I've created an array of meals. I'll get to that here in a second, and populated those objects too as well. I've implemented the number of rows in the section, and also we are going to mostly be working with this self row at index path. And I've included some assets in here too as well, some images for our different meals, as well as a star icon as well. Our meal object is just basically a plain object that has three data elements inside of it: the meal name, image, and also the rating, which is a NS number. And I created an initializer too as well for that. So let's go ahead and start coding this up on our storyboard. So we'll go ahead and hit the table view, and we will start getting our table view cell going. So this is our customizable cell that we're going to create. We're going to go and set that to custom. It's already there, as well as set the size for that as a custom size. We don't want the default 44 pixels. We're going to use 60. So you can see the size resized there. Also, we need to create a reuse identifier too as well for this one. So meal cell, we'll just call it that. There we go. And let's start placing objects within it. So first thing that we're going to do is put an image view in here. Usually this stuff is easier if we go ahead and set those properties manually instead of trying to WYSIWYG it. So there we go. Next we'll do a label. Just go ahead and center that. We will create another label too as well. This will be our ratings label. Let's go ahead and make that font a little bit smaller. There we go. And last but not least, we'll put another image for our star icon too as well. Oh. Interface Builder is being a little bit finicky today. That's why sometimes it's always good to go over and just manually do this as well. So we'll go ahead and place that next to our label too. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and start putting some constraints on all of this. I'm pressing the control key, dragging this. We'll hit the width. We'll also hit the height, set that to it. We'll also go to the view, top space, leading space, and also the bottom space. Doing something like that too as well, placing something in there, will also make sure that our customizable cell size is always going to be at 60 pixels. So that's a little trick there. We'll go ahead and hit our label here. I'm going to make that just a little larger, and we will go with width, height. Put our spacing, horizontal spacing to the image, also to our main view. We will do the trailing space to the container, as well as the top space to the container. Width and height of our image. Do the top space there as well. Everything should be fine there. And then last, we'll go ahead and set this label to kind of fill up everything else. And we will do horizontal spacing there, as well as horizontal spacing there. Do something right on top space. And we should be all in the blue now with everything. So one of the things that we need to do also is create the code behind all of this. And I'm going to do that right now and add a new file. And we're going to use a Cocoa Touch class, and we'll call this a meal table view cell, Objective-C. We don't need a zib for this. Hit next. Actually, I'm going to cancel that. Oh, I got it. Okay, hit next. And then we're going to create that. And so now we have a .h and a .m file for this. The .m, really, we're not going to be doing anything crazy with that. Mostly we're going to be working with our .h file to add and bind our controls that we made here on our storyboard to that. So one last thing is we need to go into our table view meal cell, and we need to tell it that instead of using UITableView cell, let's go ahead and use a meal table view cell, and that's how we bind it that way. So next we'll go ahead and open up the editor assistant, and we will start populating or binding to our .h file. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we will call this one meal image. We got our label here too as well. Oh, for this one we can actually set that image to our star icon. There we go. There we go. Okay, so our storyboard should be complete now. We've also got a table view cell that we're going to use for this, and we can now code up everything in our view controller delegate. So the first thing we want to do is dequeue from our table view a cell as we come along here. So we will create a first. Yeah, meal table view cell. We've already included that in there. I'm going to just go ahead and compile this real quick, even though that this doesn't do that, just to kind of get the editor up to speed of what we've done. Meal table view cell, do cell equal to, and now we're going to have to cast this to a meal table view cell. And then we'll grab it from our table view. Use of cell with identifier. We're going to use that string that we defined for that, which was the meal cell. And for index path, we're just going to use the index path that is passed in to us. So now that we have a cell, we normally you would check to see if this is null, but with newer versions of iOS, this one should give us a newer dequeue method, guarantees a return and resize property, but it's always best to check just in case. If cell is equal to nil, Then we're going to create a new one. So cell, probably will never reach this, but it's, always safer than sorry. Meal table view cell, and then we'll allocate that, and then init that too as well. So we're just creating a blank one just in case. So we will go with the meal object that we created. This is our data that we're working with, and we're going to grab that meal object at index, and we will go ahead and do the index path dot row as our parameter for that. Now we can populate the cell with its data. Do the meal name dot text. That is equal to the meal that we have, meal name. And then we'll do the image. And then we'll create a UI image named. We need that string, and we will do the meal meal image that we've already defined up here. And then last, we will do the meal rating and set that text. We'll go ahead and string with format on this one. 2F, we want 2 decimal places for that. Need a %sign there for format. And then we'll go ahead and meal rating, and since that's a NS number, we need to use that double value there. Then we'll go ahead and return a cell. So let's go ahead and compile that real quick, make sure everything's okay, and let's go ahead and run that, see how things look. And there we have it. We've got our customized cells, images that we brought in with the rating. Everything is 60 pixels in height. So hopefully this helps you with your app, and I thank you for your time.